Hello Exiles, this is Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming and welcome to another Path of Exile video. In today's video I'm going to go over how the gold dropping mechanic works, at least from what I've been able to deduce and what I think it works like. I'll kind of go over my reasoning, but I'm pretty sure I've got it nailed down. And knowing this, you'll be able to make an educated decision in order to figure out the best way to farm gold for yourself. I mean, you can always just look up a farming guide, but this will help you come up with your own strategies and make sure that you are able to put together things that are going to suit you best personally. So for an example, real quick, I'm just going to do two maps, one tier 16, one tier 17. And I'm going to use a strategy I have been using, which is a slightly modified version of a video I posted, I think 2 days ago. Just a higher budget version, basically. If you want to see an Elk and Go version that still generates an average of about 23,000 per map, you can check that video out. But, alright, gotta get my headhunter stacks going here. I'm not going to take the wildwood because from my experience, even though it does seem like it should be a very high value thing to do in this kind of strategy, it doesn't seem to really do anything. I don't know. Maybe it's bugged. Maybe there's some weird diminishing returns going on. But I think a lot of people have reported they think that it is not working properly. Oop, I need that quantity. I got the teleporting hunter buff. Okay. Oop. Can teleport. Well, hopefully I don't die here. There you go. Gotta make sure you're not sitting in that. Alright, I'm gonna pick some stuff up. But yeah, I started at 0 gold. I don't know if I properly showed that. Yeah, I showed my inventory. So started at 0 gold. Actually, I'm just gonna not pick up the little scarabs or anything. I will run over the gold, but as you can see, this gets a little hectic for, you know, obvious reasons. But I do want to pick up shrines though. Okay. Yeah, I'll just pick up the big drops. Everything else can kind of stay there. Yeah, sorry for the flash bomb visual clutter and everything, but don't worry, I don't know what's going on either. I'm just pressing buttons. Oop, an enemy here. Okay. And I'm actually going to walk through the map afterwards anyway, because I kind of want to show, I do have a very strict loot filter, and I do want to give an example of what it would look like if I wasn't running such a strict loot filter. Put this on. Right. I'm down. Yeah, even blue mobs are dropping like 800 gold half the time, and I'll explain why that is. But basically, got a lot of blues and rares dropping a ton of stuff. I guess I don't want to give that away yet, but the amount of uniques you get with this is very high. The amount of scarabs you get, very high. I got rid of a lot of the map increasing stuff. I'm actually not going to put quantity on that because I might die. And there's not that much left to take advantage of the quantity anyway. I should have left that ghost alive to get inside these the trees. But so far, almost 40k gold. Should end up a little over 40k. That's pretty average, I would say. 13 monsters left. It's probably just some influence monsters that spawned after. And whatever. I'll kill them while I'm going through. Okay. So, just as an example, there's still some gold that I didn't pick up. 43k, pretty quick map. It was about 4 minutes. I'm not really sure what the gold per hour would be on that. but just for fun, I'm going to throw this day one loot filter, the one that I usually run on day one. And you can see there's just tons of stuff on the ground, 6 sockets, fragments, which are from the scarabs, oils, which also from the fragments, just tons of stuff everywhere. So many uniques, like an insane amount of uniques. Yeah, let's just hold down, and that's not even holding down. So if I press Z and hold Alt, there's still stuff that's filtered out by this as well. So yeah, almost 45k gold in a tier 16 map. Normally it'd take about 4 or 5 minutes to do that. Alright, so let's start again fresh from 0. I'll do a tier 17 using the same strategy, and magic find is 173 without a gold flask and 203 with it, and it activates whenever I hit a rare or unique enemy. So as long as I can kill the rare or unique enemy within the duration. Oh, well, it's fine. I don't think I actually looked at the map mods for this. So starting quantity 260, starting rarity 273, 66 pack size. Okay, so gotta get started. This will be a little bit tougher, obviously, but once I get my headhunter buff going, it should be pretty cracked. I just need to make sure to not die from random stuff. Actually, I should probably go through and loot this after the fact too. Just because I want to keep my... Oop, I need those though. I want to keep my headhunter buffs rolling. I don't want to have too many of them fall off since this is a tougher one. I don't know why the Atziri's map is being highlighted, but okay. Alright. I'm not very good at clearing tier 17s yet. I'm not really super familiar with the layouts because I don't do them very often. I usually just sell them. You make, you know, a lot of them in any given day using the strategies I've been doing. Okay, so Omniphobia. That was easier than I thought. Okay. Strongbox with a Rogue Exile. Unfortunately not 3 rare monsters, but pretty significant still. Oh, and we do have rituals too. Boy. So as you can see, the map turnouts are quite intense, or the gold turnout already at 32k. I have no idea what percentage of the map I'm through at the moment, to be honest. Get my first altar, and it is a quantity altar that I can take. So that is good. I call it a quantity altar, but for the purposes of this, rarity is about as important. I feel like I'm definitely messing stuff up. Rarity and quantity are both pretty equally important for this specific setup. Okay, lots of gold there. Oh, got a shrine, gotta keep all those. Okay, a lot of rares, got one of these. These also have rares that come out of them that drop even more gold. I think these guys have like some sort of gold multiplier on them. So yeah, as you can see, one of the ones I think that was from here dropped an absolute crazy amount of gold. Okay. God, all these proximity shield guys are really messing with me. Okay. And I'm not going to do the boss, by the way, so this demo will have to be without the boss, just because I will die with magic find gear on against the boss for sure, even with a bunch of headhunter buffs. Black oil, nice. Kinda nice, I guess. Alright. Oop. I am not corrupted blood immune. Almost all of my deaths I have on this character are from corrupted blood because I simply stopped paying attention. I should really just get a jewel with corrupted blood, but yeah, I haven't made it a priority. I'd probably be level 98 by now if I had that very easily, maybe even 99, because I feel like almost literally everything I die from. I'm gonna do the rituals. Why not? Because assuming rares have died in the ritual... Oh, wow, that was small. That's why not, I guess. I barely put anything in that one. Oh, man, these proximity shields, man. I have to kind of just walk into things. Okay, whatever. We'll do the... I don't think any rares died in this one either, and the amount of monsters I got from the last one was like pitiful. Whatever. Get some stuff. If you're doing a ritual strategy for gold, you have to make sure of a couple of things. First of all, you need to modify the mod pool of the monsters so that they get converted to map native drops, which I'll explain. I think that's the case later. I'll explain what I mean by that, because it's you might not quite understand what I mean. Okay, so hopefully I've remembered to edit all of that out. I did die to the boss. I tried it. I also died to a random rare that I left on by looting. I wasn't paying attention. But the final take is 81,870 gold. So not even double what you would get doing pretty much the exact same thing in Toxic Sewers. However, I was running the Toxic Sewers at 60% Delirious, and I don't think I can do the same for Tier 17s. I might be able to get away with 40% currently, but I think I'd have a hard time at 60%. So that is one thing to make note of when making these comparisons. So, now let's get down to the meat of the video, which is how I believe gold drops work. And I kind of have some notes here, but 2 maps, over 120,000 gold, pretty good. Okay, so got some notes here, get flashbanged. Okay, so this is how I think gold works. I'm pretty sure. So similar to the dust, when you disenchant things, for uniques, it's based on the tier, but for rares, it's very clearly and very obviously based on the affix tier. You can actually test this by adding and removing affixes and seeing how it changes in the dust, or raising or lowering certain affixes. You can try annulling things off. In the case where it's mostly tier 1s and tier 2s, you'll see that the dust you get for disenchanting it is going to be a little over 10,000, and that's kind of where it caps out. Maybe you can get higher, but that seems to be the case. So, with that in mind, I noticed one of the reasons I figured this out is I was testing gold at different map tiers, and I noticed that there were several jumps specifically, and I noticed that they weren't consistent. So I did some tier 6 and 7 maps, and I noticed that the jump from tier 6 to tier 7 in terms of how much gold I was getting per map was very, very high. Very dramatic increase. So what I did was I looked through and I was trying to figure out why, and I happened to be looking through item affixes for crafting. And I noticed that right around that time, there's a ton of high-weighted affixes that get raised the tier level. So, with that in mind, I went to tier 8s, and sure enough, more magic monsters seem to be dropping more gold. Which would make sense because the rare monsters raise the item level by 2, magic monsters raise it by 1, so that break point where the magic or where the rare monsters will start dropping items that get converted that'll have higher affix tiers. That will be one map tier later for magic monsters, and then again one map later for white monsters. So with that same thing in mind, you'll get the potential higher gold drops, although because white mobs aren't guaranteed to drop an item, or I think they drop one item as a baseline, and if you have 100% quantity, they drop two, but they don't have any rarity multiplier, so it's very unlikely you're going to get great items from white mobs or great gold from white mobs. Periodically you'll get like a pile of gold from a white mob, but it's very uncommon. So you really want to focus on the rare and magic monsters, which have very high multipliers to both quantity and rarity, because they'll drop more items, and those items will also specifically be higher rarity, which means they can roll more affixes. And I believe that similar to disenchanting, I believe the total kind of tier of the affixes, like the higher tiers are worth more, and if there are more higher tiers, it's worth even more, which is why even occasionally on tier 16s, I'll get like a pile of 800 to 900 gold. That would probably be the highest tiers available, or maybe even a very low weighted tier getting converted in that case. So that is something to note. So got all this. Yeah, it's difficult to exactly pin down where the obvious best place is understanding these kind of breakpoints, but I think the biggest and most notable boosts, my strategy is farming mostly rare mobs. I try to add more rare mobs onto the map, do that kind of thing. With that in mind, for me, tier 7 seemed to be a big boost. If you are using a strategy and you're using scarabs that, like the one that increases the magic pack size, and that's what you're more focused on, tier 8s would be, the way to go. Also, tier 13 seemed to have a big boost over tier 12s. Tier 16 had the next big jump, and the ones in between these didn't seem very significant changes, by the way. And then, of course, tier 17 is going to be the greatest. But you can see there are diminishing returns. Once you get to a certain point, once you're converting, like in my case, 200% rarity, running maps. Oh, this is another thing that was different. I ran quantity on the tier 17, but I'm running rarity chisels on my tier 16s. That's because with ghosted rares, which I have 50% chance for rares to be possessed by a tormented spirit. The tormented spirits are going to give in between 2,000 and 6,000% rarity multiplier. So with that, and then multiplied by the item rarity, and I think the spirit does not multiply with the regular monster rarity. I think that's additive with the baseline multipliers for magic and rare monsters, because it doesn't seem to affect quantity, just rarity. And then multiplicative with the item rarity of the map, and then multiplicative with my current item rarity. So 200% is going to give me 3 times as many rares, and then it's going to be plus 100%, so 6 times as many, and then it is going to be with rare monsters, I think it's 2,400, and so it'll be between 4,400 and 8,400 rarity for the possessed rares, and somewhere in that breakpoint for the map rarity, in between 70 and 100%, is the point where almost all of the ghosted rares seem to drop just rare items for me. And so that's why I'm using the rarity chisels. After some experimenting, I found that the rarity chisels at the current level of rarity I have, and having the exact strategy I have. Oh, and you also get a multiplicative rarity and quantity from the delirium as well. That's to know. But that seemed to yield about 20% more gold using the rarity chisels as compared to the quantity chisels. So that was just me experimenting, trying things out, and stumbling upon that. finding out that, the difference in gold drops from magic and rare items is very, very significant. And so once you reach a certain level of quantity, um, it seems like getting that rarity breakpoint over where it needs to be, where almost all of your items from, the specific mob type you're fighting. I think in order to convert most of the magic monsters drops, since they can't be ghosted, they can be run over by ghosts, but they can't actually be ghosted. And because they have a smaller multiplier than the rare mobs do, I think you would need much higher player rarity than 200, maybe like 5, 6, 700, somewhere in that range, in order to get, the juiciest drops off a strategy that focuses on magic packs. That being said, you can go for just putting as many magic monsters as possible, and then just pulling the, lever as many times as possible. But yeah, with a good build like a headhunter, mage blood build, or like just any very fast clearing build, you can get, over 40k gold very consistently, every like 4 minutes or so. So it works out to be like 600-700k per hour. The drops are good. You get a lot of chance at tier 0 unique, since you get so many unique drops. So you're eventually going to get tier 0 uniques. I have gotten tier 0 uniques, but they've been like mostly bad ones, like Moroi Urki, Bloodletter, Soul Taker. Kalandra's Touch was the only good one I found so far, but no Mage Blood, no Headhunter yet. But using this strategy, if you kind of grind these out, you're probably going to get those tier 0 uniques pretty quickly. Yeah, that was kind of the important stuff, though. I did want to explain how gold drops seem to work based on me really analyzing all of that. If you have any other observations, let me know in the description below. I do read all the comments. Sometimes I, put off replying to them for a bit, but I do read them all. This has been Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming, and I will see you next time. Bye.